Shit! Shot came from the east.
The east wind whipped across his face. The crosshairs trembled with each breath. A child was walking toward the U.S. platoon, holding something under his shirt. It could be a bomb that IT, could be a toy. Chris Kyle had only seconds to decide. The shot was fired from nearly 2 kilometers away. The threat dropped. The U.S. soldier survived. This wasn't a Hollywood movie scene. This was real life. And this is the story of Chris Kyle, the sniper who struck so much fear into enemies in the Middle East, they gave him a chilling name, the Devil of Ramadi.
Quick reaction forces 20 minutes out. You stand the fuck down.
Aim small, miss small.
Skydive and blow up. Well, if you could be part.
Born in 1974 in Texas, Chris Kyle grew up around guns, horses, and his father's stern teachings that there are only 3 types of people in this world: sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Chris chose to be a protector. He was once a rodeo cowboy, wrestling bulls and lassoing steers. But a sudden injury forced him to change paths, and so he joined the Navy, not just as a regular soldier, but as a SEAL, one of the elite trained through what's been called hell on earth. Their blood mixed with sweat, willpower outweighed muscle, and Chris Kyle endured it all. From 2003 onward, Chris Kyle served in the Iraq War, a place of shattered roads, children possibly carrying bombs, and windows that could hide them. Armed with a Macmillan TAC 338 sniper rifle, Kyle was more than just a shooter. He was an eye in the sky, a distant reaper, a man who brought life by taking it. From Fallujah to Ramadi, his shots were hauntingly precise, point one of his most legendary kills. Nearly 2,000 meters away, took out an insurgent about to fire an RPG at U.S. troops that he saved their lives. But on the other side of the war, a bounty of $80,000 was placed on his head. The enemy didn't say his name. They only whispered, "The Devil of Ramadi." Fallujah, 2004, the sky gray with dust. Helicopters thundering above. The acrid smell of gunpowder clung to air thick with blood and sweat. Chris Kyle lay flat on a crumbling rooftop, sniper rifle steadied on a sandbag. I locked to the scope. Below, a Marine unit was pinned down. There at the corner, 2nd floor, RPG ready to fire. A voice yelled over the radio. In hesitation, he adjusted his aim, calculated the angle, pulled the trigger. A sharp crack echoed. The enemy took a bullet to the forehead, flung backward through the window. But before relief could settle in, a hail of AK-47 bullets ripped across the roof. Debris exploded. Chris didn't retreat. He changed position, scanned again that a group of fighters was weaving through a narrow alley, ready to ambush the Americans. 2nd shot. 3rd. Each bullet claimed another enemy. .1 returned fire. A bullet grazed Chris's shoulder. Blood soaked his shirt, but he gritted his teeth. His eye never left the scope. "I'm good. Keep moving forward. I got this." His voice was calm, cold, and he truly did have it. .7 shots, .7 bodies. Fallujah that day. Hell opened its gates, and from it Chris Kyle emerged like a ghost that could not be broken. Chris wasn't a superhero. He was a soldier, and war, whether just or not, always leaves wounds that don't bleed. .160 confirmed kills. That's the official number. But in reality, the count could be higher. When he came home, he carried the ghosts of life or death decisions on his back. In his eyes was the coldness of a man who had faced death, and the sorrow of one who had witnessed too much of it. After 4 combat deployments, Chris left the military. He returned to his wife and 2 young children. But the past never really left him to free himself. He wrote it all down. American Sniper wasn't just a memoir. It was the soul of thousands of American veterans poured into words. The book became a bestseller, later adapted into a film starring Bradley Cooper. But off the screen, Chris kept fighting, this time against the darkness within the minds of veterans like himself. February 2nd, 2013, Chris Kyle was shot dead by another veteran, Eddie Routh, the very man he was trying to help overcome PTSD. A soldier who survived Middle Eastern gunfire was murdered on U.S. soil. Tragic. Bitter. Ironic that a hero fell while trying to save someone else from the same monster that had once haunted him. Chris Kyle's funeral. Thousands in attendance. The American flag draped over his coffin. Silent tears flowed in endless lines. They weren't saying goodbye to a killer. They were honoring a father, a soldier, a legend to his fellow soldiers. He was a savior to his wife and kids, a husband and to the enemy. A nightmare. But to America, Chris Kyle was a symbol, not because of the number of people he killed, but because of the number of lives he saved. Chris Kyle, his name will live on in history, but the question remains, was he a hero or simply a tool of war? A fearless warrior or a man crushed by the machine? The only certainty is this: he lived, he fought, and he fell for what he believed was right. And today, you are hearing his story, the story of America's greatest sniper, Chris Kyle. United States, a hero, never backing down. Thank you for watching. Please share this story and subscribe to our channel to discover more heroes in history.